All of us have the responsibility, the moral responsibility, moral duty to ensure that the church has what it needs for it to function, for it to run properly, but also in a particular manner that the ministers of the word, the priests, seminarians, deacons, religious sisters and brothers, catechists, all those that have a part to play in the evangelizing ministry of the church, those that take an active part, that they have all they need for them to function properly. Even Jesus at his time when he ministered with his disciples, he needed physical support. He needed material support, like we have heard from today's gospel. Jesus goes about ministering with his disciples, but he's not just alone with his disciples. There are also others who are doing or taking their role to ensure that the ministry goes on smoothly. And names have been mentioned in the gospel. The women, Mary called the Magdalene. There's Susanna. There's Joanna. And the gospel says, and many others, meaning that a lot of other people were part of the ministry of Jesus in many different ways. They may not have been in the limelight like the disciples of Jesus. Some of them may not even have been mentioned in the Bible like these that have been mentioned. But it suffices to say that a lot of many other people were part of the ministry of Jesus, doing their role or playing their role to ensure that the ministry that Jesus was doing with his disciples goes smoothly. We can also do the same today. We do have people that are actively doing the work of evangelization wherever we are. And you don't even have to focus just on the Catholic Church. Even in other churches, many people are part of the ministry of Jesus, preaching. Some don't even have time to go and fend for themselves, meaning to go and do business so that their whole life is just ministry, meaning that for their welfare, they depend on the generosity of those that they minister to. Sometimes we take a back bench. Sometimes we become indifferent. We don't even know whether the man of God has eaten or he hasn't eaten. It's not my business to know whether he has eaten or he has not eaten. We don't even want to know whether this man of God is depressed or is okay. All I care about is coming to church, to listen to the words, to attend mass and all that, and go back to my personal business. Whether father is okay, is not okay, maybe that is his business. Yeah. You know that even the healer can be wounded. Not so, church. You agree with me, no? Even the healer can be wounded. Jesus and his disciples had their own, dry moments in their ministry. Sometimes things didn't go as expected. Sometimes the going was tough. Towards the end, Jesus even had to carry his cross. During those drying moments during their ministry, who was there to support them? Who was there to ensure that they had whatever they needed for them to function properly? These are the questions that we need to be thinking about, especially as parishioners, as ordinary Christians who attend to our ministers whenever they are facing those dry moments in their lives. The women in the gospel supported the ministry of Jesus, providing for Jesus and the disciples out of their means, out of the little that they had. We cannot wait until we have abundance before we begin to support. The little that we have, when we support the church, we are actually giving back to God and saying thank you to God for the blessings that we receive from him. Amen.